come out and punch him in the mouth.
Sanders fires, got a man. Lester, he's 5, he's touchdown.
Welcome back to Snap Count's countdown of the top 5 NFL rookies who can make an impact on the field this season in 2025.
How did he do that? How did he do that trick? There goes Scat again. He's slipping another tackle.
How did he stay on balance there?
This is the second of a 2-part episode, so if you haven't seen part 1, we're not sure what the hell you're doing here. Go back and watch that, then come finish this list. Now, before we get into the rest of our list, including a nod to some defensive guys who could turn heads as rookies, let's do a recap of the 3 skill players we covered in part 1. And number 5 was undrafted rookie Xavier who rewrote the record books at the University of Miami before being signed by the Tennessee Titans. And number 4 was Devin Neal out of Kansas, the workhorse running back who carried the load for the Jayhawks offense before being picked 184th overall by the New Orleans Saints. And third on our countdown was Dante Thornton, the 6'5" athletic freak out of the University of Tennessee. Thornton and his legit 4.3 40 speed may end up being one of the biggest steals at pick 108 if the Las Vegas Raiders can find a way to stop sabotaging themselves and put a polish on Dante's ridiculous natural talents. Now that we're all caught up, let's head to New Jersey for the next player in our list of 5 rookies who could blow up in 2025.
Now, if you're looking for underdog DNA, it doesn't get much better than Cam Skattebo. Born in Rio Linda, California, Skattebo's football story has been a slow burn of disrespect and relentless production. He began his college career at Sacramento State, where he dominated Big Sky defenses before transferring to Arizona State in 2023, determined to prove he could excel at the Power 5 level. At 5'10" and 225 pounds, Skattebo doesn't fit the mold of a flashy breakaway back. He's not the guy with the fastest 40 time at the combine or the prettiest footwork on a cone drill, but when the ball is snapped, good luck bringing him down. Skattebo is all leg drive, all contact balance, and all fight.
Balance there! Look at him go! Skattebo!
And over the past 2 seasons at ASU, he turned that fight into serious production.
I love his vision and decisiveness downhill. I love his ability to be a goal line short yardage back. I love his play strength. I love his demeanor. He's great at the catch point.
In 2023, Cam rushed for 783 yards and 9 touchdowns while adding 24 catches for 286 yards. Those are solid numbers, but in 2024, he went full workhorse. 1,711 rushing yards, 21 touchdowns on the ground. Oh, and another 45 catches for 605 yards in the air and 3 more scores. That's over 2,300 yards from scrimmage in a single season and 24 total touchdowns. By the time his college career ended, Skattebo had piled up more than 3,300 total yards and 34 touchdowns on a mix of power runs, screen passes, and sheer willpower.
I grew as a person, I grew as a leader. I did everything I could to make sure that they understood that I'm not doing this just for myself.
This dude's got efficiency for days, and it comes down to not just his rushing style of never saying die when he is facing contact for the first time. Patient, he waits for his blockers to set up. He knows how to run behind zone concept and power concepts.
Some running backs make you miss, some run past you, but Cam Skattebo runs through you.
He does not care who's in front of him. He's going to run as hard as humanly possible. Good vision, powerful legs that can make jump cuts into holes that you don't think he can get to, and you mentioned it.
Now he is a member of the New York Giants, drafted late in 2025, and joining a backfield that's wide open for business. Saquon Barkley took his talent to Philadelphia, leaving the cupboard in New York somewhat lacking. With Devin Singletary, Eric Gray, and Tyrone Tracy rounding out the roster, there isn't exactly a locked-in running back 1 anywhere on that depth chart. This is a running back competition that feels tailor-made for a guy like Skattebo. A grinder, a chain mover, the kind of back who shows up on special teams, takes third-string reps in August, and somehow by week 6 is getting double-digit carries.
The way he runs the ball, he runs angry, he runs hard, he runs physical. Some of the things that Dave's love. But again, I think that, we're 2 different backs, but again, I think we complement each other really well.
With Brian Daboll calling plays and Russell Wilson locked in at quarterback, this Giants offense is going to need someone who can deliver consistency in the run game. Skattebo fits the bill, especially when you factor in his pass-catching production. 45 catches for 605 yards in 2024 isn't just good for a college back. It's elite, and in an offense where checkdowns and screens will likely be a lifeline for Wilson, that's going to matter. Now, is Skattebo the next Saquon Barkley? No, but he also doesn't have to be.
Cam's awesome. He's exactly, the person you think he is. He's cool, he's relaxed. He's going to be a hell of a player at the next level.
What he is a tone setter, a tackle breaker, and the kind of rookie who could steal early down work, goal line touches, and maybe, just maybe, a starting job by November. Because when the weather turns cold and defenses get tired of tackling in the fourth quarter, that's when Skattebo starts doing his best work, and in New York, they're going to love that. Because blue-collar fans appreciate blue-collar football, and that's exactly what Cam Skattebo brings to the table. Now, we still have our biggest rookie breakout threat to go, but first, let's give some love to the other side of the ball. Games are still won on defense, so here's a 4-player lightning round featuring the hitters. The guys on this list weren't top 15 picks, but they've got a real shot to make an impact early. First up is Jamaree Caldwell, a defensive tackle out of Oregon, drafted in the 3rd round by the Los Angeles Chargers. At 6'1", 330 pounds, Caldwell's not here for finesse. He's here to clog gaps, eat double teams, and collapse the interior pocket. In 2024, he notched 29 tackles with 5 for a loss, 3 pass deflections, and a forced fumble for the Ducks.
He's wrecking havoc in the middle, rushing the passer, great. So everybody in the locker room loves him. He's hilarious. So that's just like a great teammate, perfect teammate to have.
And while he didn't light up the stat sheet with sacks, his ability to anchor the middle and disrupt run lanes made him a problem on every down.
He's anchoring down, right? So especially as a linebacker, he's keeping me free a lot of the time. But I love Jamaree, really good dude. I know he's going to turn up in the league. So.
For our Chargers defense that struggled to stop the run for years, Caldwell is exactly the kind of space eater they needed. Next up is Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, drafted by the Arizona Cardinals in the 2nd round, and honestly, that's a steal. This is a guy that many mock drafts had picked inside the top 20.
He's a 4-5 guy, low 4-5 guy, but his instincts, his technique, his fluidity, especially his ability to see the quarterback and jump the football underneath, I think all of those things are going to be major assets in Jonathan Gannon.
Johnson brings elite size at 6'2", natural hips, and man coverage ability that screams cornerback 1 potential.
He's got the body type and the technique where if he played in off zone, we might even want to see that a little bit more, and he'd be really good in it. Look,
at Michigan, Johnson was the lockdown guy and the defensive MVP of Michigan's national championship game in 2023. He left Ann Arbor after 2024 with multiple All-Big Ten honors to go with his All-American accolades. Will's high football IQ already has him displaying pro-level technique, and with Arizona's cornerback depth chart looking thin, Johnson might not just play early, he might start.
I really think you're getting one of the top cornerbacks, potentially in the NFL. Could be a top 10 corner in the NFL very soon too. I love Will Johnson, and I think this is a home run pick for the Cardinals.
Really just come in and help this team and this defense in any way. I obviously want to win Super Bowl and get to the playoffs and do all those great things, so we got a lot of work to do, and I'm just excited for the journey.
Next up is one of the best pure ball hawks in the entire 2025 draft class.
Your best. That's it. Play our brand of football at our crib and be our best. Y'all feel me? I love y'all, man. I wouldn't want to do this with nobody else. Let's go. Play action, flicks the ball down the middle, intercepted.
Xavier Watts with the pick. The pressure got to Caleb Williams.
And
Xavier Watts, a safety out of Notre Dame, is now wearing Falcons black and looking to make a name for himself in Atlanta. Though he was drafted as a safety, Watts didn't start his college career as a defensive back. He arrived in South Bend as a wide receiver recruit before flipping to safety in 2022, and that position switch is what changed everything. By 2023, Watts had become the heart of the Notre Dame secondary, finishing the season with 7 interceptions, 52 tackles, and more than a few highlight reel moments that made national headlines.
You gotta keep tackling. Extra yards matter. Keep attacking the ball.
In November of 2023 against USC, Watts picked off Caleb Williams twice, scored on a fumble recovery, and single-handedly flipped that game in Notre Dame's favor. By year's end, he earned the Bronco Nagurski Award as the best defensive player in all of college football. Fast forward to 2025, and the Falcons grabbed him in the 3rd round to bolster a struggling secondary.
Hey man, welcome to Atlanta. We're excited to have you. Excited to have you run a few picks back in the bins, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited to get to work.
They needed range, ball skills, and someone who could flip momentum on a single play. Watts brings all that, and with that wide receiver background, his tracking ability is elite, and his instincts in zone coverage are next level. He's not the biggest hitter in the class, but in terms of coverage IQ and playmaking, Watts has day 1 sub-package upside. Whether it's center field deep zone or playing robber underneath, Watts is going to see the field early, and if the ball is in the air, there's a real chance that he's coming down with it. For Falcons defense, starving for turnovers over the past few years, this could end up being one of their most important picks of the draft. And finally, let's talk about Teddye Buchanan, a linebacker from Cal who was drafted 129th overall by the Baltimore Ravens. This guy's story is all production and perseverance. Teddye was lightly recruited out of high school, barely on draft boards 2 years ago, and now he's coming off a 114 tackle season with 5 sacks and one of the best tackle for loss totals in the Pac-12.
Very unique special athlete to be able to play offense and defense and play a quarterback position, an outside linebacker safety position, and be extremely effective in both of those.
At 6'2", 235 pounds, Buchanan isn't flashy, but he's an every down grinder. He run fits, check, zone drops, check, and special teams he's already penciled in. And with Baltimore's linebacker depth behind Roquan Smith and Trenton Simpson still fluid, Buchanan has a chance to carve out a role early and keep it.
I feel like I'm a part of an amazing organization. I'm living out my dream, so just trying to do it to the best of my ability and just really be appreciative every single day.
So there you have it, 4 defenders, 4 different stories, but all 4 are capable of making their names known by mid-season. Because defense doesn't always get the love, but on this channel, we see the value in the guys doing the dirty work, and these 4, they're coming for snaps and possibly somebody's roster spot. And now finally, for our final steal of the 2025 draft, there was only one choice: Shedeur Sanders. Coach Prime's kid was never going to enter college football quietly. He entered with cameras rolling, social media buzzing, and his last name already carrying more weight than most NFL prospects will ever know. The son of Deion Sanders, Shedeur started his career at Jackson State to play for his dad and was quickly dominating at the FCS level. After 2 seasons and back-to-back conference titles, Deion left for Colorado and Shedeur followed, ready to prove he wasn't just a product of hype, but a quarterback who belonged on the biggest stage. At Colorado, playing in both the Pac-12 and the Big 12, Shedeur delivered. In 2023, he threw for 3,230 yards and 27 touchdowns, completing over 69% of his passes, all while playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in Power 5 football. He took a beating. He was sacked more than any QB in the country and still kept getting back up. Then came 2024 and Shedeur leveled up again. 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, and a 74% completion rate, all with a career passer rating north of 160. He showed improved pocket presence, better ball placement, and flashed NFL-caliber arm strength in almost every game. For 2 straight seasons, he carried Colorado's offense, and if you looked at just the box scores, he looked like a first-round lock, but the league had other plans. Heading into the 2025 NFL Draft, Shedeur Sanders wasn't supposed to wait this long. Not after what he did at Colorado. Not after 2 years of 70% plus completion rates, 7,300 career passing yards, and a reputation as one of the smartest, most accurate pocket passers in college football. But the wait came anyway. Round 1, his name didn't get called. Nothing round 2. In round 3, quarterbacks with half his production and none of his pedigree started flying off the board. He was still waiting in round 4, and then finally, deep into round 5 at pick 144 overall, the phone rang. It was the Cleveland Browns making a move that had people around the league shaking their heads.
He was a value at that point if you had picked him here. Yes. It's insane, and now turning into somewhat of an underdog story. I mean, that's the kind of chip, the boulder that you're putting on this young man's shoulder. Absolutely. For all the success he's had, Felder, he's going to walk into an NFL camp somewhere ticked off about the way this went.
Heading into 2025 spring practices, the Browns are carrying 5 quarterbacks on their roster: Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Shedeur Sanders. That's a crowded room, and with that kind of numbers game, Sanders has just as good a chance at getting cut as he does becoming the starter. But here's the thing. Wherever he ends up, whether it's Cleveland or somewhere else after a preseason trade, that team's getting a proven winner with over 7,000 career passing yards, high-level accuracy, and one of the biggest chips on his shoulder possibly ever. Sound familiar? Well, it should, because we've seen this movie before. There was another quarterback who fell way down to round 6. He fell way farther than he ever should have, and he turned that chip into 7 Super Bowls. Now, am I saying Shedeur Sanders is the next Tom Brady? No, but history has a funny way of rewarding guys who refuse to stay buried. There's 4 defensive sleepers and 5 overlooked skill players, including 1 quarterback whose draft day slide may well fuel him to do great things somewhere. This is the NFL's next wave of steals. Late round picks, undrafted free agents, and guys who slipped through the cracks but are now ready to make 31 other teams regret it. We've seen this story play out before. Brady,
Priest Holmes, Antonio Gates, Brock Purdy. It happens every year, and one or more of these rookies are next. So now it's your turn. Which one's your favorite? Who's going to crack a starting lineup, and who's going to break out and make this draft class look like a scouting department disaster? Drop your picks in the comment section below. And if you like breakdowns like this, late round steals, deep cut NFL stories, and rookie impact projections, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Snap Count and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.